Hi guys, Alex here. This is video number 2 today, and well, I did a video earlier. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll put an annotation here. I did a video earlier, and it's just a quick update to tell you what's going on and why I haven't been uploading videos, and also a little piece on Record Store Day, which I'm really excited about. But I thought I'd come back again with a second video, and yeah, today to answer a thread, something I haven't done in a couple of weeks now, which is surprising. But I wanted to do this one because Tony had some really great questions that were a little bit more personal, which I thought was really good, because music is a deeply personal thing, really, isn't it? So yeah, a great thread, and I wanted to post some responses. So without further ado, oh no, before I get started, this is what we got playing in the background. Duke by Genesis. In fact, I've only listened to this through about 2 or 3 times, so yeah, great album. But without further ado, I'll get on with answering Tony's questions. Right then, so question 1 is kind of like a perfect question for me, I guess. I can't think of a question that would be more suited to me. Best example of great lyrics and your favourite lyricist. I'll start with the favourite lyricist bit, and big surprise here, but yeah, obviously Bob Dylan is my favourite lyricist. Yeah, what can I say? Considered by many to be the greatest lyricist of all time. You know, I'm not, I'm going to say he is, because there's, everyone has their own opinion on music, but he's certainly my favourite, and been a fan for probably a year and a half now, and my ears have been treated to some of the, most special lyrics and most poetic things that I've ever heard before. So yeah, he's certainly changed the way I listen to music. And as Tony said in his question, he was explaining how when he started out, lyrics were so important to him, and they were the most important thing about the music, and I can totally see what he means. I mean, I think it's exactly the same for me. Getting into music, getting into Dylan and Cat Stevens and all this folky stuff, lyrics were the biggest part of that, and obviously with Dylan it is all about the words, and over time I'm starting to develop, more of a taste in listening to the whole thing rather than just the lyrics. But yeah, Bob Dylan, definitely my favourite lyricist. And then best example of great lyrics, and there's just so many. I tried to narrow it down, but I've picked out 4 verses here of songs that I'm going to read out. 3 are Dylan songs, one's from another artist. What I might do is post another video, later on, just kind of collecting my favourite lyrics and favourite verses together, and putting them into one video, because there's so many of them, and I can only give you a snippet here of my favourite lyrics, but I'll read them out to you. This first lyric is from Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, from Dylan's Freewheelin', Bob Dylan. I'm just going to read the whole verse. Oh, what will you do now, my blue-eyed son? Oh, what will you do now, my darling young one? I'm going back out, for the rain starts a-falling. I walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden, where the hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the colour, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it, and reflect from the mountains so all souls can see it. Then I'll stand on the ocean until I start sinking, but I'll know my song well before I start singing. And it's a hard rain is gonna fall. Great verse, one of my favourites of the early Dylan, and very emotional to listen to. Number 2 is from It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, one of my favourite Dylan songs, up there in the top 5, I put it. Okay. While preachers preach of evil fates, teachers teach that knowledge waits, can lead to $100 plates. Goodness hides behind its gates, but even the President of the United States sometimes must have to stand naked. And this has been credited as one of Dylan's greatest verses and one of his greatest songs, and I agree it's unbelievable. And just reading that through just gives me, you know, shivers, and it's wow. I mean, just the way he sings it as well. It's one of my favourite verses, definitely, of his. Third one here is from Idiot Wind from Blood on the Tracks. I noticed at the ceremony your corrupt ways had finally made you blind. I can't remember your face anymore. Your mouth has changed. Your eyes don't look into mine. The priest wore black on the seventh day and sat stone-faced while the building burned. I waited for you on the running boards near the cypress tree while the springtime turned slowly into autumn. I think, you know, that those last two lines, you know, two of Dylan's best lyrics ever. I mean, they're again, they just send shivers down my spine. And then I finally got a verse here from PJ Harvey's new album, Let England Shake, which I've been listening to, and this verse is awesome. I thought I heard Louis's voice calling for his mother, then me, but I couldn't get to him. He's still up on that hill, 20 years on that hill, nothing more than a pile of bones, but I think of him still. And you know, just saying it doesn't do it justice. I mean, you'd have to listen to the song. But yeah, just an awesome album, and a great lyricist. So those are just 4 verses, and I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to stop now. But great question, as I said, very, very suited to me, being a Dylan fan. Okay, well, I'm going to move on quite swiftly through these next 4 questions, because obviously that took quite a while. Second question is, most significant thing witnessed or has happened in your lifetime in the world of music? And I think I'm kind of interpreting this differently than intended. I'm just going to, because I haven't been to any live music or witnessed you know, anything special, I'm going to just say, you know, what I think has been the most significant thing to happen in music in my lifetime. I was born in 1993, so yeah, I've been here 17 years, and probably the most significant thing to have happened in my lifetime, I'd say, is the death of Kurt Cobain in 1994. Tragic loss for the music industry, and you know, obviously he was an incredible musician, and sadly missed. You know, committed suicide, and you know, died way too young, really. And yeah, as you know, I haven't given this too much thought, but I'd say that was the most significant thing to have happened in my lifetime, because I think if he was still alive today, I think he would have influenced, you know, had a profound impact on what music is like today. I think pop music would be different today if Kurt Cobain was still around. That's just my opinion, but obviously pop music has become so bland now. It's getting to the point of, you know, making me chunder. It's awful. I mean, with this whole Friday business going on, Rebecca Black, I mean, what can I say? It's awful. And you know, so that obviously that in itself is quite significant. The kind of you know, downfall of popular music in my eyes, anyway. But yeah, quite a difficult question for me, that one. But yeah, that's the best I got. Right then, so question 3 was best party music, party album. Okay then, haven't really thought about this much. I guess it does depend a lot on what kind of party it is, as Tony said. If I'm just chilling out with mates, you know, here, I guess that's kind of a party, so I'd want to be listening to, you know, something that's, you know, got a beat to it, but is still not, you know, dance music, as to speak. So yeah, say, you know, if I went out to a club or something and you know, got a bit tipsy, then I really just, you know, I just dance to anything that's on. I mean, I think people like bands like the Black Eyed Peas are good to dance to. Anything with a, you know, a lot of bass in it. I don't really know. I'm not a big fan of dance music in general, and you know, I don't know a lot of artists associated with that genre, so I can't really answer this question very well. I just kind of go with the flow when I'm at parties. So yeah. Right then, so moving rapidly on to question 4. Another difficult one, actually. 3 songs to be played at your funeral. And I guess rather a depressing question in a way, but I guess something everyone thinks about eventually. And I'm not going to lie, I have thought about it, you know, a couple of times before, but really should have given this more thought before answering it. But well, I'd have to have a Dylan song in there, just for the fact that he's such important, part of my listening to music. Yeah, he was the first thing that brought me onto this whole music thing. So deciding which one would be so difficult, though. I probably have to go with Blowing in the Wind, simply because I don't know, it kind of seems like it would fit that situation, but also it's the first song I heard of his and kind of has a value, a deeper meaning because of that to me. But yeah, I have to go with Blown in the Wind, and maybe Heart of Gold by Neil Young. Absolutely adore that song. From the first time I heard it, I was blown away, and yeah. But for a third, I really haven't got one. I really haven't. I've had a mind blank here, and I can't think of a third one. So maybe I'll get back to you on that, Tony. But yeah, those are 2 songs that would be kind of suitable. Maybe at my funeral. Hopefully, it's a long, long way away though. Right, and so 5th and final question is: if your collection just vanished one day, it was stolen or something, would you start over, and what would you buy first? So I guess again this is kind of a question that doesn't apply to me in the same way as it does. Well, I know for a fact it doesn't apply to me in the same way as it does to people with larger collections. But I'd go as far to say that if my collection was stolen, I would be devastated, because it's taken a month and a bit now to, with all the money and effort you put in to collecting and keeping your records in good condition, and it would be devastating to have that taken away from you in an instant. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like for people with larger collections like Dan, Mr. Hall of Fame, you, Tony, Derek. Having your collection stolen would be a massive deal. But for me, obviously, it wouldn't be the end of the world, and I'd definitely start collecting again, because music has that power and that influence on me to motivate me to carry on, and I'd definitely start collecting again. I'm not sure how it would be for other people, but us here in the vinyl community are pretty passionate about music, and I don't think even a massive setback like that would take away the power of music to pull you in. And so I'm rambling on a bit here, but what would I buy first? I'd probably carry on what I'm doing now, just buying new releases mixed in with some older releases, more Bob Dylan stuff, more Beatles stuff, definitely. Just get the essentials in there and build kind of a basis in which to build on. Yeah, that's my answer to the 5th and final question. Great thread, Tony. Really enjoyed watching your videos, and I hope you get many more responses. But that's all I got. I hope that was alright. And as I say, watch my video from earlier today where I just ran through and talked a little bit about Record Store Day. Apart from that, thanks guys, and I'll be back soon with more videos.